Please welcome the Leader of the Official Opposition, Andrew Scheer.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be with you this evening. Sorry, that was deliberately misleading the room. Can I say that here, speaker? Is that here? I can. Okay. J'espère que vous passez une belle soirée jusqu'à maintenant. For those of you who don't know who I am, and I'm looking at you, the Toronto Star. There we are. My name is Andrew Scheer. And if you didn't see it, the Star's headline on Sunday said, Andrew who? And I know, because I'm a political junkie, that they were alluding to a political headline from 1976, which, by the way, was 3 years before I was born. And you know, with such cutting-edge pop culture references, I really can't figure out why newspapers are in trouble. I can say that with deepest sympathies. My father has a post-media pension, so you don't have to read it, you just have to subscribe to it. All right? I thought for a while, though, that I wasn't going to make it here this evening. When Kelly Leach found out that I was coming to wine and dine with a bunch of media elites, I had to spend a lot of time on the phone. And Brad Trost and some of the social conservatives in caucus learned that there may be dancing later. I hope to be long gone before that happens, for so many reasons. I haven't seen this many journalists in one room since the last staff meeting at the PMO. But I get it, because times are tough out there, and I don't want to get too political. I know this is supposed to be lighthearted, but you know, Justin Trudeau has made life difficult for a lot of families. I mean, right after he took over, I myself was kicked out of public housing. And I had to wait 18 months to find a new unit. But that was quite the ending to a very exciting leadership race, wasn't it? Drama and excitement right down to the final ballot. And before that, of course, we had the sudden departure of Kevin O'Leary. I understand why he got out of the race, though, because the job, as much as you might have been led to believe otherwise, is not particularly glamorous, and it certainly doesn't pay as much as what he's used to. That's why by the time the voting started happening, he was back where the real money is, the CBC. Speaking of the CBC, when are they going to find a replacement for Peter Mansbridge? My money is on Paul Wells, but I think he'd probably be there for about 2 weeks before he returns back to Maclean's. Mais vous savez, beaucoup de personnes me demandaient ce qui se passe lorsque vous devenez chef du Parti conservateur. A lot of people have asked me what happens when you become the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. Well, apart from the ceremonial handing off of the official leather-bound edition of nasty names to call Bob Fife, it's all pretty much what you'd expect. Right now, I'm in the process, very busy, kind of thinking about shadow cabinet and developing a plan to staff the OLO. And that's not easy, especially since Maxime's team called dibs on all the good jobs. A really tough position that haven't got a lot of applications for is the driver. Of course, the Leader of the Opposition gets a car and driver, but not too many people are flocking to take the wheel of a 2013 Dodge Grand Caravan. Jill and I have been working with the NCC to figure out how we're going to fit 5 kids into Stornoway. I know we can do it, though. We're going to make a bedroom out of John Reynolds' wine cellar and another one out of Rana's shoe closet. And I would like to publicly thank Tom Mulcair for installing that soundproof crying room. That's going to come in handy. Now, unlike some of my predecessors, I do pay attention to the things you've been saying about me in the media. And I got to tell you, I am a little bit annoyed that there's some suggestion out there that I am beholden to a certain group within the Conservative family, that somehow I owe them something, that they helped me win the victory. And I can tell you, I have made deals with nobody. I am beholden to nobody. I certainly do not owe my leadership victory, sorry, I certainly don't owe my leadership victory to anybody in the Conservative movement. Sorry, I'm just gonna, a little bit. That's right. Wow. Quelle boisson de qualité à un prix abordable et avec un juste retour au producteur. Another criticism of me has been that I smile too much, that it's hard to tell when I'm serious because I'm always smiling. I always have a grin on my face. Now, I admit I do that a lot. It's kind of a resting, pleasant face that I have. Someone even referred to me on Twitter one time as Dimples McCheery. But I want to help the media for you to be able to tell when I'm really worked up, the different range that I can project. I know, Justin, you were a drama teacher, so this is the Andrew Scheer range, okay? This is happy Andrew. This is furious Andrew. Sad Andrew. And I feel your pain, Andrew. But maybe I should try to project a little bit more passion and become more fiery like my hero and fellow Saskatchewanian, John George Diefenbaker. Fiery, but without the paranoia, suspicion, and mistrust. All of which are the common side effects of being leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. Now, the last bone I have to pick with you is about all this talk of a hidden agenda. When it comes to policy, I've been completely transparent about my intentions. Not entirely. I'm going to come clean here tonight. There is one debate that I want to reopen. One subject that I think tears at the moral fabric of this great nation. Of course, I'm talking about the metric system. When I'm Prime Minister, centimeters will be no more. We'll bring back inches, feet, acres. If you ask someone in Saskatchewan how many hectares they have, they just tell you to go back to Russia. They have no idea. But let me reassure my Liberal friends, especially Catherine McKenna, that we will still be committed to the environment. And under a Scheer government, cars and trucks will be required to get at least 80 rods to the hogshead. Now, before I turn things over to Thomas Mulcair, and by the way, Tom, I wasn't here last year, but I did see your speech. I loved your farewell speech at the last gallery dinner, and I can't wait to hear what you'll have to say next year. You know, the NDP leadership race seems to be designed for the folks who couldn't keep up with the lightning fast pace of ours. There's a very good chance that Nikki Ashton may have a second child before it ends. And that child will probably grow up and challenge Tom Mulcair for the leadership. But I don't even think it's officially underway because we all know in Ottawa that no leadership race is actually officially on the go until Tony Clement files his paperwork. But I do want to say a few things about the Prime Minister before I turn it over to Tom. The Prime Minister was very gracious and gave me a congratulatory call just after I won the leadership. I didn't see him at all that week. I know, he missed some days in the House of Commons. He did have that transatlantic flight that probably took a lot out of him. When you're up at that age, it's a little bit harder to fly. I mean, it wouldn't bother me, but, So, I did bring you a gift for next time. These are compression socks. They help with circulation and restore energy. So next time when you make it back the next day, you might be able to come to QP. Anyways, I know he was really busy, and I understand we've already got the information. Next week you might not be at all the question periods too, because you've got that very important appearance on the Kelly and Ryan show next week, which is super important, so you don't want to miss that. Mais je sais pourquoi le Premier ministre a manqué ma première semaine à la période de questions, du moins je pense bien. But when we did talk, he gave me a lot of practical advice, and I took careful notes from when we chatted, and I want to show you a few pictures. He talked to me a lot about image, and I want him to know that I actually shadowed him a lot. I was watching, because he is this image machine, and he was so good at crafting the perfect picture, and I didn't make it into the final pictures that were released, but there's Justin running by. I was enjoying a milkshake, the whole thing. He talks a lot about his yoga dad, his yoga body. I've got a dad body. PMO seemed to have scrubbed that from the official ones. I don't know why you took me out of that one too. Now, there's another. You talked about yoga. There's a famous yoga picture that I couldn't quite get the leg up as much. But he did tell me to exercise, and it's not something, it's a word I had to look up. But I have been working on it. I'm really proud of the next picture show, because I did want to recreate something. This is a real picture. This actually happened. I know I'm a little bit red, but it did take a while to get up there. Oh, no. All right. Thanks very much. You've been great. We'll see you next.